Welcome back to Yahoo Finance. I'm Brian Sozzi alongside Brad Smith. Julie Hyman has the day off. It has been an earnings-heavy morning, but let's lock in on some breaking news crossing the wires just about right now as you're seeing all three markets up higher on this. That is consumer confidence, Brad, coming in from the conference board.
Yeah, that's right. 102.5 is the reading that we just had come in from the conference board here. And as we're continuing to look through some of the data and get it all refreshed on our side, this is particularly interesting to see how the markets will react to this as we move on throughout the rest of the day. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you're still seeing that hold on to gains, still net positive by about 0.5%, a little bit more than that. The S&P 500 still holding on to gains. That's up by about 0.9%. And the NASDAQ Composite, that's been the leader largely throughout the day here, and that's up by about 1.5% at this point in time. But again, consumer confidence coming in at a reading of 102.5 here this morning. We're going to continue to see if we get even more of the data that rolls in from this report, and we can add a little bit more context to this as well.
Yeah, consumer confidence, interesting. Brad, you look at these quarters from Coca-Cola, Sherwin-Williams, these companies are out there raising prices, and the consumers, by and large, they've been able to withstand these prices.
Yeah, but this is still a miss on what was actually estimated here. We were looking for 105.9, so coming in at 102.5. The market's right now still holding on to some of the move higher, and of course, this is kind of permeated from yesterday's trading activity and even last week with this little bippity-bop bounce, if you want to call it that, where we have seen, of course, in this larger bear market, at least these bounces in the near term, and a larger question of where consumers sit within that and where the strength of the consumer is, where demand is actually coming in from. And I think that's a lot of really what's spelling out how confident the consumer really is at this point in time. You see demand is far different regardless of with the industries that we're looking at. Demand for travel, far different than demand for even Coca-Cola as we're talking about, even though you may see it actually show up in the results and outpace some of the expectations. The expectations for the companies on the equity front have actually been lowered. So it's a question of, all right, where will the consumer continue to see some of that strength even as we're continuing to discuss the risk of recession too?